Today, I'd like to make a brief discussion of the shelter rule under Section 58 of the Negotiable Instruments Law. In 2008 bar, this question was given: how does the shelter principle embodied in the Negotiable Instruments Law operate to give the rights of a holder in due course to a holder who does not have the status of a holder in due course? Briefly explain. So we will consider this after our discussion. The shelter rule is provided for under Section 58, which says, when subject to original defense, in the hands of any holder other than a holder in due course, a negotiable instrument is subject to the same defenses as if it were non-negotiable, but a holder who derives his title through a holder in due course and who is not himself a party to any fraud or illegality affecting the instrument has all the rights of such former holder in respect of all parties prior to the latter. The first sentence speaks of defenses, which we will discuss in another presentation. But right now we will consider the second sentence, which says, but a holder who derives his title through a holder in due course, and who is not himself a party to any fraud or illegality affecting the instrument, has all the rights of such former holder in respect of all parties prior to the latter. This is the shelter rule. Here's a question. A sells to B a painting by the famous artist Amorsolo. Unknown to B, the painting was only a reproduction. In payment for the painting, B issued a promissory note to A for 2 million pesos. A negotiates the note to C for 1.5 million pesos. C, unaware of the fraud, gives the note to his sister D as a birthday gift. D is a friend of A and knows about the scam. First question, is D a holder in due course? Second question, may she collect on the note? Based on the facts given in the previous slide, D is not a holder in due course for the following reasons. She did not take the instrument for value because it was given to her as a gift, and she did not take it in good faith because she knew about the fraud perpetrated by A against B. By virtue of the shelter rule, however, D as transferee acquires all the rights of C as transferor. Clearly, C is a holder in due course because he paid for the instrument, he took it in good faith, and had no notice of any claim or defense against the instrument, and there were no apparent irregularities. Since C is a holder in due course, so is D. Her knowledge of the fraud does not undercut her rights as a holder in due course because she was not a party to it and was not a prior holder. Therefore, D is entitled to collect the full amount of 1.5 million from A. Her right to do so flows from Section 58, which states that but a holder who derives his title through a holder in due course and who is not himself a party to any fraud or illegality affecting the instrument has all the rights of such former holder in respect of all parties prior to the latter. In the above example, D derived her title from C, a holder in due course, and she was not herself a party to the illegality perpetrated by A and not a prior holder. Hence, D can collect from A. But suppose D subsequently sells the note back to A. Would the shelter rule apply to A, considering that a prior party, C, was a holder in due course? Obviously not, because he had been a party to fraud and as a prior holder had notice of a claim or defense against the instrument. Therefore, this is the exception to the shelter rule. The shelter principle cannot be used to improve a holder's rights or protections with regard to a negotiable instrument by repurchasing that negotiable instrument after a holder in due course had owned it. So let's go back to the bar question given in 2008. How does the shelter principle embodied in the Negotiable Instruments Law operate to give the rights of a holder in due course to a holder who does not have the status of a holder in due course? briefly explain. So here is the recommended answer. Under the shelter principle, a person who does not qualify as a holder in due course can nonetheless acquire the rights and privileges of a holder in due course if he derives his title to the instrument through a holder in due course. However, a person who previously held the instrument cannot improve his position by later reacquiring it from a holder in due course if the former holder was a party to fraud or illegal activity affecting the instrument or had notice of a claim or defense against the instrument. That's the end of our brief discussion on the shelter rule.